I just want to start off by saying thank you for attending the 3rd Annual Mega Tax Day. This event is made possible by United Way's Financial Empowerment Partnership, which includes 25 local organizations, which include banks, volunteer groups, and community agencies. You can see a list of those organizations on the board behind our representatives here. Overall, the partnership's goal is to increase by 50% the number of lower income families who become financially stable by the year 2020. We do this through a variety of strategies, including financial literacy classes, access to free tax preparation, affordable banking, and also coaching on how to plan and save for emergencies, college, and retirement. In addition to that, between now and April 15th, over 150 IRS certified volunteers will be preparing taxes for qualified families at 11 sites between Carpinteria and San Ynez Valley. We also include e-filing in that as well. Last year, over 2,700 families participated in this program. We were able to bring back to this community over $4.7 million in tax returns for these individuals. This year, we hope to really exceed those numbers as well. Now it's my pleasure to introduce individuals, a community leader who's been a good friend of United Way and many other local organizations. Please help me welcome 1st District Supervisor of the County of Santa Barbara, Salud Carvalho.
I'm relishing this morning for one special reason. And Steve, thank you for making my day. Usually because I'm the lower ranking official, they get all the limelight early on. But this time I got it, so thank you, guys. Let me say what a wonderful day it is again today, this year, to see this program continue to flourish. I've been coming here for a number of years, and it's been where we had just a small crowd, and it's been growing, and this is, I think you're gonna need an auditorium next year. But I think this is just a slice of all the individuals that partake in the program or that make the program happen. And I want to really congratulate the United Way for Steve and Paul Didier and everybody else who's really put in the time to make this program successful. No program just happens right out of the blue. Somebody has to step up, believe in it, make all the calls, have all the meetings, get everybody together, and it's Steve and the United Boys, the United, you just put that in my mind, the United Way that really has made that happen. So let's give them an applause. I want to thank all the sponsoring agencies, collaborating agencies, because obviously you're a major part of this effort. This isn't just great for what happens during tax season, which is a major feat and accomplishment on its own, but it's really what the program attempts to do year-round. And, I was thinking about all the financial literacy and empowerment that this program attempts to achieve, and it reminds me of my own personal life, which I think I can relate, and you all can relate to as well. No matter how much money we have, little, a lot of money, there's always room for understanding how to better save, how to better become financially independent. And it reminds me a lot of my study skills that we've all had in high school, in school, and in college. The more you do it, the more you discipline yourself, you go from getting F's, which at one time I did get, I'm embarrassed to say, to A's and B's. You make it part of your life on a daily basis, and lo and behold, all of a sudden you're achieving those benchmarks, you're achieving those things you wanted in life. And I think financial literacy starts early on, as early as we can, all the way till when we're old and gray. And the more we understand...
Easy.
Well, I got gray too, so I said we, I included myself. But I think it's one of those things that understanding it is the first step, and then implementing it is the second step. And that discipline, and then eventually it helps us in our lives get the most important thing that we all want. And what is that? Financial independence. To have peace of mind, to be able to do those things that are important to us and our families, to have freedom. And that's what this program is all about. Giving us the peace of mind And so I want to thank the United Way, everybody who's been a part of this effort, and all the participating banks. I see all the banks that I see everywhere and play a major role in our community in one way or another, participating in various philanthropic efforts. And see many of you that I know in the community. I see our mayor, my mayor, Helen Schneider here. And Mark Alvarado as well, who does a lot with the city. I just, I could go on and on and on, and I think my colleagues are gonna say other wonderful things about this program. But congratulations to everyone for making this program possible. And for those of you that have taken advantage of this program, good for you. Congratulations.
Again, I just want to stress on something Salud mentioned. This program would not be possible without the 25+ partners we have county-wide. And as you mentioned, many of them are present here today, so please take advantage of their services if you can. Next, it's my pleasure to introduce our state senator, Hannah Beth Jackson. She represents the 19th district, and in her time in the Senate, she's been a great advocate for education, public safety, and access to health care, and we're very happy to have her here representing the Financial Empowerment Commission. So please help me welcome her.
I love this, and I think there's even something in it to get it started. But first of all, I too want to thank the United Way. I look around, I know that we've got students here from UCSB, from Santa Barbara High School, from the various financial institutions in our community. And I'm so impressed by this sense of community that exists here today. Not only, I know everybody would like you to bank with their bank, which is a good idea to bank. It's a good idea to put money in the bank instead of in a mattress, and to understand how you can save a dime, a quarter, a half a dollar, a dollar. And of course, I'm very pleased too that you're here because you paid your taxes. I'm also here that you're going to get back the money that you overpaid. Because it's important that as a community we recognize that if we want to see our children get the best education they can, if we want to make sure that we provide health care, we all have to have a little what they call skin in the game. We all have to participate. On the other hand, you paid your taxes, and if you're entitled to a refund, you're darn well entitled to that refund. And that's why we're all here today, to recognize that we give and we get from this whole process. And it's my hope that when you get, because this is what I was taught, a penny saved is a penny earned. And when you can start putting a little bit of money, I hope many of you have the opportunity to put some of that money you get back into the piggy bank. It may not be a lot, because we all need food to live, and clothes and housing, and pay for our families and all. But even if you just start with a nickel, and every week you put a nickel away, as Salud said, at some point you're going to find that there's a little extra money in the bank for you. Or when times get really tough, you're going to be able to help yourself. And there's nothing more empowering than that notion. So I'm just delighted. Again, I want to thank you for doing this. This is so extraordinarily helpful. And I think that I'm going to take this bank home, because I need to be reminded that, we were talking about when you get a piece of plastic. We used to say, parents used to say, what do you think, money grows on trees? Now we go, what do you think, money grows out of a machine or on a piece of plastic? And the answer is it does. But at the end of the day, it's really the money you put in the piggy bank that's the money that counts. And so I know that there are a variety of different banking institutions here that would love to get your business. Negotiate a tough bargain with them. But as you do that, remember too that this is something that will, these are tools that are going to last you your whole lifetime, going to give you that sense of independence, that sense of freedom, that sense of dignity, that you are definitely your own boss, that you can work hard, you pay your taxes, you get money back, and that this is something you send to your children, a message you send to your children and to the community. So on many different levels, this is a wonderful day, and I'm very proud and honored to be part of it. And next year I'm going to send my husband back here. This morning I left him, and he was grousing about having to do our income taxes. So I'm going to send him back here, down here next year. Maybe you won't feel quite so overwhelmed, and I hope the way you two have felt that you've been given some help and direction, and that, again, this is something where we can all live with great pride that we are contributing to the betterment of our community. At the same time, we're going to make sure we have enough in the bank so that we can take care of those that we love. Thank you all very much.
Thank you. Would you like to say a few words?
Sure.
All right.
My name's Doss Williams. I'm your state assembly member, and I actually just did a legislative hearing on the unbanked in San Francisco on Thursday afternoon. So I came a little prepared. But first, I want to talk about taxes. You know, I grew up from very modest means in this community. I grew up in Isla Vista, and I can tell you the first time that I switched from a 1040 EZ to a 1040 or 1040A, from the shorter form to the longer form, it was like a revelation. It was like, oh my God, I get some of this money back, right? And so I think there's just so much of a perception out there in the community that if you don't make a whole lot of money, there's no point in doing more than the short form, more than the EZ. And that's wrong, because so many people, especially if they have expenses done in the course of the work that they do, and a lot of people do in this community, it makes a whole lot more sense to be doing the long form. And if you need help, this is the place to do it. And tell your friends, because not enough people know about it. Secondly, you know, the other piece of financial literacy besides taxes that's important is really why people are not banked, why people don't have banking services. Now, back in the day, it used to be a lot about IDs, and now it's a lot about people trying to avoid overspending, which is really a problem, right? You ask people why they go to check cashing places or payday loans. They usually say it's because I don't want to have fees that I can't budget, right? So, but that's really not the right path. I got to tell you, if you can go into a bank, you can always say no to overdraft protection. You can always say no to a line of credit. Most of these banks have services that are can be a little bit more insulated from fees, and even with some of those pesky fees that they do, and they got to offer more products with less fees. But even with those fees, the amount that they will take out of someone's pay is much, much less. The way to go is the way to go to the bank. And I'll tell you some of the statistics in the state for people who go to check cashing and payday loans and some of these non-traditional spots instead of to a bank. Their average income, this stats is a couple years old, their average income is about $23,000 a year in the state, and the average amount of fees that they pay for the check cashing, payday loans, or for the prepaid debit card, prepaid cards, is $1,000, right? That's a huge piece of people's income. And so, you know, especially when they're right here, see which ones have a product that's good for you, a bank account that's good for you. But don't go, these non-traditional sources are a bad choice for you and your friends, right? For you and your loved ones. And they cost a lot of money. And also, you know, I should mention that Annabeth has done legislation to try to curtail the practice of payday loans. But it's just really important to be thinking about these kind of things, that we do have good products out there in this community, and that would be better for all of our financial bottom line than some of these non-traditional sources. So with that, I want to also remind you that we have an office in Anapamu and Chapala. We also have tax forms there, and really because you guys pay your taxes, that's also your office as well. So don't ever be shy about coming by, saying hi to my staff or myself at the corner of Anapamu and Chapala. Thank you so much.
since we have Mayor Lee Schneider here, might as well invite her to say a few words as well.
You know, it's nice being in the back, and what a great crowd looking in and just seeing all the different partners here. And I know Supervisor Carbajal mentioned Mark Alvarado, who's in the back, and want to acknowledge the growing opportunities there to get your taxes completed and get as much money back as is owed to you at our Westside Community Center every Wednesday afternoon. There's free services available as well. This great partnership here, and Frank Quesada from the Housing Authority, the City Housing Authority, has been doing this for a number of years, and Go Dons with their nice little award-winning tax assistance, and that is just so important. The issue about, and I was thinking about, you know, tax time happens, and usually people are like, oh, taxes, don't like taxes. Well, think about what you get for paying your taxes. The services at the Westside Community Center, the issues, the roads outside, the water that you drink, the you know, just getting services for the things that you need. People who live in the Housing Authority and have Section 8, that comes from tax funding. And so to be able to then understand the importance of what it means to participate and pay your taxes, but then also get what's owed back to you should you pay too much is so important. And the issue of financial literacy and having the partnership here of all the banks and other institutions here is so, so important. You don't realize, you have to grow up with it, and I was just thinking, when I was in high school, my mom gave me a savings account and an allowance, and she actually let me use her American Express card if I needed something. And I'm like, uh-oh, careful. But the point of doing that is every time I had to use it, I had to pay it back in full when it was due right away. And that practice has lasted me over 35 years, or 30, or whatever, but 30 years. And where that is just part of regular practice, that sometimes you need the tools available that are there for you, like a credit card or something like that, but to have the discipline and have the knowledge and understanding of being able to pay it back so you're not paying someone else interest that really should belong in your own account. And those kind of thoughts and ideas that if you're not taught that at an early age or even at any time, you don't think about how the little bits of pieces, as Hannah Beth was saying, that little bit of money that instead going to a financial institution in the form of interest can go right back into your own savings account. And having that grow and grow, and so when it's there for you when you need it. So I so appreciate all of you in this room are way far ahead as I am in terms of getting your taxes together. I think I have a little pile of stuff, but haven't done anything yet. So you are an inspiration to me to make sure I get things done soon. And thank you all to the assistance that you all provide and how important it is. It's great to see this room get more and more crowded each and every year. So appreciate the time to speak. Thank you.
I'll do it from here. You know, I wanted to say something in Spanish because my mother and my father were here. They would say, why the hell did I teach you Spanish when there's people who speak Spanish in the audience? Why can't you say something? So they both had passed on, and they would be looking down on me and saying, bad son, bad. So, quiero decir unas cuantas palabras en español porque parece que hay unas personas aquí que hablan español, solo español. Y quiero nomás darle un sumario de lo que dije yo y han dicho muchos aquí esta mañana. Quiero darles las gracias y darles las felicidades por participar en este programa, no solo para hacer sus taxes y agarrar los reembolsos que merecen ustedes de su trabajo y del dinero que han pagado al gobierno estatal y federal. Pero este programa para ustedes que han participado durante el año para aprender cómo mejor comprender estrategias para cómo invertir y cómo sobresalir financieramente en nuestras casas y nuestros ahorros. Es muy importante. Es como estudiar. Si uno va a una clase, le dan la información, pues uno se va y se le olvida, ¿verdad?, la mayoría de la información. Pero cuando estudia la información que le han dado, y se compromete a utilizar esas estrategias o esa información en su vida, les trae un desarrollo y un triunfo en sus vidas para agarrar la independencia, especialmente hablando financieramente, que todos queremos lograr. So, quiero darle las gracias a todas las agencias que han participado para hacer este programa posible y quiero felicitarlos a todos ustedes que han participado con este programa.
Gracias, Salud, and everybody else who spoke. We're very happy to have you all here today. I do want to mention one person who's been behind the scenes really running this program back there, Belinda Hodge. Please wave. Really worked to get all the partners here, some of the media, and our public officials, so we really want to thank her for doing that. Lastly, we're going to wrap up with some photo opportunities. We want all the public officials to come up first. And after we've done that photo op, we're going to have at least one representative from each partner to come up as well to take a photo up here. It's a little crowded today, so we're going to have to work around that. But the program itself has NNL. Thank you again. Please visit Brian. He's by himself in that table there. He needs someone to visit him. All right, thank you.